The Noto Peninsula in central Japan has long been known for its traditional lacquerware known as Wajima nori. Created by skilled artisans, the beauty and durability of this tradition has maintained a lasting appeal. The first step is to prepare the wood, turning, bending, and shaping it to form bowls, plates, or other items. The lacquer itself is made by adding a fine powder of local diatomaceous earth to the natural tree sap. Carefully applied with numerous coats to the wooden base, this is the key to the high durability of this lacquerware. Finally, the surface is polished to a beautiful sheen and carved or decorated with graceful designs using gold and silver powder. The production process involves more than 120 steps. For each stage, there are artisans who have preserved this complex tradition over the centuries. However, on New Year's Day, the Noto region was hit by a powerful earthquake, which caused devastating damage. In Wajima City alone, more than 100 people died, and numerous lacquerware studios and shops collapsed or were burnt to the ground. Uncertain about the future, some in the lacquerware community have decided they can no longer carry on.
本当に地震ってんだ。恐ろしいもんやね。びっくりした。せっかくの店が燃えてもだしね。俺だけでなしで辞める人も相当おると思いますわ。悲しいね。
3 months since the earthquake, more than 7,000 people from Noto and other parts of Ishikawa Prefecture are still in evacuation shelters. Many of them are worried about their livelihoods, including the more than 1,000 artisans involved in producing Wajima lacquerware. Each piece of Wajima nori has to pass through the hands of several different artisans. If even one step is omitted, the item cannot be completed. Now the industry is doing its utmost to show it's as resilient as the lacquerware itself.
This area, the Artisans' Quarter, remains in ruins. One lacquerware store was able to salvage some items that survived the quake and the blaze. The shop's 8th generation owner is set on rebuilding the store and the lacquerware tradition.
I hope the artisans will return. I want us to work together again.
The local Wajima Lacquerware Cooperative says all 103 businesses that are members incurred damage from the quake, and few of them have plans to reopen. The quake impacted the artisans involved in each step of production: wood turning, lacquering, and decorating. So it will not be at all easy to rebuild.
Unless each of them returns to their specialty, not one piece of Wajima lacquerware can be produced. Everyone was affected by the quake, so we don't have much leeway. But we'll take each step as it comes.
At the same time, some craftspeople have come together to rebuild one key production facility. Akagi Akito is the focal figure in this project. Akagi began his career as a lacquerware artisan more than 30 years ago and is now one of the leading artists involved in Wajima nori. Akagi's own studio survived the quake and is ready to reopen. Now, his top priority is to rebuild this wood-turning workshop. He has collaborated with the artisan here for many years and highly appreciates his skill. Creating the wooden base for each piece is the essential first step for producing the lacquerware. However, there are fewer artisans involved in wood turning than the other steps, and their numbers have been declining. Even before the quake, Akagi felt a sense of impending crisis.
This process is the foundation of our craft. And this is one of the last surviving workshops. Without it, the Wajima Nuri tradition will collapse.
The rebuilding costs will come to over $50,000. Akagi has paid more than half of that himself. The rest has been raised from donations. Akagi is adamant about the need to preserve the traditional layout, especially when talking with the carpenter about the space used for forging the tools that have been used since the old days.
たたらばですよね。
あそこをどうしましょうかっていう相談をしたかったんですよ。
あれあのまんま残した方がいい。あそこがないと刃物が作れない。
At this workshop, generations of artisans have been turning and carving the wood using tools they forged themselves.
この辺に壁を作れば、まあ復旧できるんじゃないかと。
それでいいと思います。一人一人の職人さんの
The families of every single artisan have passed down their traditions through the generations. As much as possible, I want to help preserve and support this while I'm able to.
それをしたいなと。
86-year-old Ikeshita Mitsuo is the woodturner whose workshop is being rebuilt. He is currently being housed temporarily in a hotel 150 kilometers away from Wajima. Ikeshita has been a lacquerware artisan for over 70 years, but the recent earthquake made him think about retiring for the first time.
I thought to myself I'd have to call it quits. I couldn't work, I'm getting old, there seemed to be no choice.
But Ikeshita says Akagi's efforts have raised his spirits. He's also found inspiration in the many articles about his fellow lacquerware artisans.
They're doing their best, so I should do the same. I hope I can repay Mr. Akagi by carrying on with my wood turning. I want to keep working as long as I live.
Akagi has brought a gift for the carpenter. It's a lacquerware bowl he made together with Ikeshita.
これここの池さん。ありがとうございます。
素晴らしい。ありがとうございます。いえいえ。
Akagi is hoping that rebuilding this workshop will inspire others to work together to keep the Wajima Nuri tradition alive.
Mr. Keshta has preserved the form of his bowls for such a long time. I'm so grateful to have been working with them. As long as his workshop is standing strong, it can serve as a beacon of light for other artisans to continue their work.
The workshop was completed at the end of March. Akagi brought Ikeshita from his evacuation site to try it out. The view outside the window makes it clear that Wajima still has a lot of rebuilding to do. But Ikeshita is looking forward to getting down to work once he's sorted his living arrangements. Because Ikeshita has no heir for his craft, Akagi plans to send young artisans to acquire woodworking skills. Akagi also wants to help rebuild other workshops to inspire more of his colleagues to renew their commitment to this traditional craft. Now, another man from Wajima has picked up the pieces and is spreading the word about the lacquerware tradition. Let's see how he did so in New York.
More than 1,000 exhibitors come to this global trade fair to show off their products. In one corner, a small business owner who has endured some challenges. Okagaki Yugo runs a shop that's been in his family for 3 generations.
I saw the broken lacquerware, but that's not what mattered. My biggest worry was whether the artisans we work with were safe.
Okagaki felt the tremors on New Year's Day, then saw what they did to his community. He lost much, including the desire to expand his business overseas. But his family and his artisan friends encouraged him to go to New York to show others what they're capable of. He brought some remnants of their work and flyers with a message saying, "We'll never give up."
The goal of our recovery shouldn't be to go back to what we had. We should create jobs that will allow artisans to take a step forward.
Artisans from Wajima have crafted lacquerware for more than 600 years. Wajima nuri, as it's known, has earned a reputation for its durability and luster, and has been designated an important intangible cultural property. Okagaki has tried to tap into the growing American appetite for Japanese culture.
And I think it's a beautiful product. It's unique, it's different.
It takes so much time and effort and years to perfect a craft. So I feel sorry for if there's any losses.
Okagaki says he's already looking forward to sharing his experiences with his friends back at home.
I realize people, including some from overseas, are waiting to see our work, and that really encourages us to create.
Those who make Wajima nuri have to apply layer after layer of lacquer to give their wares a gloss, a process that requires patience. Okagaki knows the people in his community will take time to recover, but he's determined to help them rediscover their shine. Kanda Fumio, NHK World, New York.
Now Okagaki is taking his exhibition around Japan. He hopes to return to New York with new works once production resumes. The longer it takes for the lacquerware artisans to get back to work, the harder it will be to keep the craft alive. Because the production process is divided up, losing even a few artisans could be critical and might prevent the traditional skills from being passed on to future generations. Information about how to make donations to help recovery efforts can be found on the website of the Wajima Lacquerware Association. Thank you for watching Newsline In Depth.